It's like something out of a George Orwell novel, isn't it? You've got two Muslim guys that butcher a British soldier on a British street, quoting verses from the Quran and shouting Allahu Akbar as they do it. And the next thing you know is that you have a Prime Minister standing up there saying that this has nothing to do with Islam and this is a betrayal of Islam. And then the Mayor of London, Boris Johnson, stands up and says exactly the same thing. And then you turn to the newspapers to try to make some sense of all of this complete insanity that's going on. And you find that any article that's on there has the comments switched off, because they don't want anybody writing in saying, listen, I'll tell you what you just said in your article there is a load of absolute bollocks, because that's what it is. When they're, when they're up there saying, praising David Cameron for apparently working to bring communities together and by not vilifying Islam. Well, Islam needs to be vilified because Islam quite clearly was 100% behind what happened on that street. And the fact that we have a Prime Minister of this country, considering what a incredibly dangerous situation this is, to stand up there and say that Islam had nothing to do with it is quite... it's like something out of Soviet Union. It's like something out of 1984. It's not normal. It's not normal. It's not democratic. There's nothing sane about this. It is quite literally insane. And we've had the Spectator magazine, who have done a couple of articles about this. They've switched the comments off. The only newspaper that actually allowed some comments on there was about the EDL going down there at 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock into Woolwich on the 2 nights ago, and calling them EDL thugs, of course. And then you look at the comments coming in, and the comments, one comment said EDL scum. 2,600 people voted that down, on the popularity things. And then you go to the best rated, and the best rated one was 9,000 votes saying, EDL, good on you, we need you. And I'm thinking, here we have a complete impasse between the people that rule this country and the people that live in this country, the proper traditional British people that live in this country, run by fucking traitors like David Cameron, like Boris Johnson, like the editors of The Telegraph, the editors of The Spectator, and we are seeing something that is really frightening in this country now, where people are being outlawed, they're not allowed to talk. If they do say something, they are arrested. And, just think about what was going on for all those years before the EDL finally made the authorities admit that these girls had been groomed because they were white, because they were British, because they were not Muslim, because they were kafir, because they were infidel, because they were unclean. That happened. That came to light because the EDL pushed that out there. But even after all of that, do you remember a single Muslim being charged for racial hatred? Not one.
No.
Even though they said the white horse deserve it. Not one of them was tried for racial hatred. Yet when they murder in cold blood a British soldier on a street in the capital of this country, and people actually go out there and tweet or Twitter or do whatever it is that they do in this technological age, and they say there's something wrong with these people, the police come round and arrest them for inciting racial or religious hatred. I mean, can anybody really live in this country anymore and not see how insane this situation is? And not just how insane it is now, but how insane it's going to be in 10 years, 20 years, 30 years' time. And people go, it's all going to be okay. It's not going to be okay. And if you take it forward to the year 2050, someone born today, by the time they get to 2050, they'll be 37 years old. They'll be a young man, a young woman. This country is not going to be anything like it is at the moment because the Muslim demographic is doubling every 10 years, and there's 4 million of them. That's 8 million, 60 million, 32 million. There's going to be more of them by 2050 than us, and look how bad it is now. And you're not allowed to talk about this. It is rant over, it's insane. I'm sorry, but like Vlad said earlier, what's happened in the last 24 hours has just pushed a lot of people over the edge, including me.